A late submission for the 18-hole lead. Johnny Vegas sprinting to the clubhouse. Went off the back first, coming home on the front. Birdie at number 8, then at number 9, the third most difficult hole on the course that gave up just 10 birdies across this field in round 1 play, and one of them right there by Johnny Vegas. Cards 9 birdies in his opening 18. A 7 under 64, best by 2 shots. Vegas, your leader through 18 holes, and it was a up and down day for the entirety of this field, lacking star power on the first page, but certainly lurking, including Scottie Scheffler's 2 under 69, through some struggle as well. The field dealing with mud balls out there at Quail Hollow. Here's Scottie on the difficulty.
It's one of those deals where it's frustrating to hit the ball in the middle of the fairway and get mud on it and just have no idea where it's going to go. And, you know, I understand it's part of the game, but there's nothing more frustrating for a player. I mean, you spend your whole life trying to learn how to control a golf ball, and due to a rules decision, all of a sudden you now have absolutely no control over where that golf ball goes. But, you know, I don't make the rules. I just got to deal with the consequences of those rules. And, you know, I did a good job of battling back today and not letting a bad break like that, which cost me a couple shots, kind of get to me. And did a good job battling after that and posting a decent score.
Scheffler most readily alluding to that issue you see there at number 16, his double bogey sitting right on the mow line in the middle of the fairway, but mud on the ball caused some toppling spin and ended up in the hazard. Scheffler still rights the ship to a 2 under 69. For more from Quail Hollow, we check in with Rick Gehman and Patrick McDonald. Scottie not alone in his critique, some of the best in the world here commenting on the playing situation at Quail Hollow with some of the mud balls they were getting. Patrick, how did the PGA of America's decision to play it down on Thursday lead to the leaderboard maybe we were left with?
I think it was not necessarily a mistake. I think, honestly, right now, it's just a little sad that what we're talking about is not necessarily the golf, but the mud balls, and everyone is piling on. Stephen Yeager talked about it. Michael Kim got in the action. You know that guy can't get a conversation away from him. He had as many as 5. Scottie Scheffler, of course, Xander Schauffele hitting that one in the water on 16 as well with Scottie Scheffler. We could actually see that mud on Xander's golf ball from the rope line. It was that much, and I think it's just taking away from a championship that has already kind of had a gray cloud over it, not in regards to the rain, but in regards with the discussion around the golf course and coming back to a PGA Tour venue. And I think it's a shame that we aren't talking about the top 10 players on this leaderboard, the Scottie Schefflers more often, and that this is being a topic of conversation during a major championship.
We don't have to talk about it. Okay. I mean, listen, it's organic matter on the golf ball. Every single player in the field dealt with it. It's a little unlucky. Yes, this is an unfair game. They do not get relief from divots in the middle of the fairway. It's okay. It's going to be fine. All 3 of the biggest players in the world made double on 16, and I think, Joe, the decision is one thing, right? And they were very clear about the decision, the PGA of America that I'm talking about. They released this on Wednesday night. They said, look, we are not going to have preferred lies on Thursday, so basically get ready for it. It was not a surprise to anybody in this field, and I think there is a little bit of a defense of major championships. You know, we've had, I believe, just 1 round of major championship golf in history played in preferred lies. I mean, this is a game where we play it as it lies. That's the whole point of this. It's like the #1 rule that we have. So, yeah, it stinks. It might create a little bit more randomness, but we're going to play 72 holes. It's not just 18, and this place is drying out by the minute.
I'll give you urethane. Rick Gehman gives you organic matter. That's what you come for here on CBS Sports HQ. We did just see Rory McIlroy and his undoing there with a slipped foot and a chunked ball. A couple surprising names, let's call it, aboard the struggle bus. Rory, a 3 over 74. True home game situation here, guys. What's going on with the driver right now specifically, Rick? 12 of 42 fairways his last 3 rounds.
Cannot get it in the short grass. He's missing on the wrong side. The thick, nasty, wet rough is causing him a lot of issues. When he is making good contact with the ball, of course, there's water between the club face and the golf ball, which is always throwing things off. Yeah, he is not leaning into his best weapon right now, and that's going to have to change pretty quickly here. This is a golf course that he should be able to overpower off the tee. He should be able to separate himself, but he was actually quite fortunate, Patrick, a handful of times, because this round could have been worse early on. I mean, there was a shot on, what is that, 15, that could have easily have gone into the water, and it stayed up for him. He ends up only hitting a short iron into that green. So this could have been a lot worse for Rory, but he is going to have to get this driver ironed out here.
Number 18 as well got caught up in the rough alongside the creek. I honestly, Musso, I thought Rory saw all the mud balls Xander and Scotty were talking about and thought maybe I should just hit it in the rough instead. And that strategy didn't work out too well for him either. But you go back to the start of 2024, Rory McIlroy was battling a big left miss, and it led to a number of big numbers on his scorecard. Maybe getting back to a little bit of some of those bad habits, getting stuck underneath in that golf swing. But as Rick mentioned, despite how bad it was, not only with the driver, but he missed a bunch of short putts. The iron play was kind of lazy at some points, and the short game wasn't much better. He's only 3 over. He's still in this. We just saw him do something similar at the Masters where he kind of ended his first round in a bad manner, and I think he's just fine if he gets that driver tightened up.
It's a good reference point to look to for hope for Rory McIlroy, but just the Zurich, a non-traditional start, and then the Truist where the driver was not there with him either. We'll see if he can straighten that thing out in round 2 and beyond. Rick Gehman and Patrick McDonald always got us straightened out here on CBS Sports HQ. Thank you, fellas. All weekend long, your coverage coming on CBS and on Paramount Plus Saturday and Sunday. That coverage begins at 1 Eastern time, our second major of the season, as we look forward to the second round. Hey, let's talk about a mover, because this leaderboard, as you alluded to, it's not a sticky one. It's not one we expect to look like this some 3 days from now. Give me a big mover for round 2.
Well, I like what I saw from Bryson DeChambeau. Didn't record a lot of birdies today. Stumbled there on the final hole, which a lot of people did. That Green Mile is an absolute brutal stretch, as we know. Statistics bear that out. But listen, DeChambeau hit a lot of fairways today. And I thought he had some chances that he let get away, but that's good if it happens on Thursday. So I think tomorrow he goes out early and takes advantage of a golf course that's drying out. Look at that shot at 17. How sweet is that? And the crowd is eating it up. But I think tomorrow he takes advantage of a dry golf course. His balls are just going to keep bounding down those fairways. The greens are going to be absolutely perfect when he plays. And what I saw today, Joe, is a guy, again, he relishes the moment, the big crowds, the major championships. I thought the big crowds kind of bothered the top 3 guys. I mean, that was an enormous gallery, and I think that bothers them, even though they should be used to it. But I think Bryson makes a move on Friday. It's great in a major championship. Moving day happens on Friday, right? And I think we're going to see something like that tomorrow from Bryson.
A couple chunk chips didn't do him any good. Lost 2 strokes around the green, about field average on approach. But if he's going to go walk it out there 350 plus, he's going to have a good chance he's going to be in the conversation. A pick to win is something we've done all week long, and why change that pick now? You look at this leaderboard, do you have a different feeling than you did for the previous 4 days?
Joe, last Sunday night, you and I were talking, and I mentioned all the guys, the best players who'd never won a major. And I left out Viktor Hovland. And you said, hey, what about Viktor? And I how do I leave out Viktor Hovland, right? But I think Viktor is a guy on a crash course with a major championship. And listen, this guy's in shape. He's the one guy who can hoist the Wanamaker up above his head multiple times. That's the heaviest trophy in all of sports. But I saw good things in Viktor Hovland today. Again, his short game continued to improve. 3 years ago, that was a problem. It's steadily getting better. If you look at the statistics, he plays well on big golf courses. And again, as things dry out, Joe, advantage for the longer hitters at Quail Hollow. And Viktor Hovland is as long as he wants to be. So my early pick on a Friday, I think he gets the monkey off his back, finally wins a major. It's Viktor Hovland.
How good would that be? Rochester to Louisville, a character in those 2 PGAs. We'll see if he can be leading man when it's all said and done on Sunday. Doug Bell, we'll see you plenty throughout the week, pal.
Thanks, Joe.
And again, Saturday and Sunday, the thrilling conclusion of the PGA Championship from Quail Hollow coming your way on CBS and on Paramount Plus. Jim Nantz, Trevor Immelman, and our award-winning team take you through all the action on the weekend.